Hello and good morning, everyone. Good morning. I would like to welcome everyone to today's celebration on this beautiful Sunday. Whether you're new in this room, returning in this room, or new out in the world, or returning from out in the world, we see you, we appreciate you, and we thank you for coming. Welcome. Now we're going to turn the mic over to Donna for some announcements.
Thank you, Simon. She's our wonderful newest host. So I want to tell you what's going on with music today because it's very interesting. We got a text from Hope saying she had some relatives down somewhere near the fire or in the fire, and she had to go down, and she's picking some people up and bringing them back. And I guess they're going to stay with her for a while. So we've had various things of what we're doing with music today, but Donna W. First of all, Chase is our wonderful pianist today. Donna W. is going to sing the first song. I'll lead you in the congregational song. And Chase is going to do something very special as our special music. So it'll be a different music today, but it'll be great. So let's go to the slides. So I want to remind everybody, I think most of the people here know about this and often are there, but we do have our Let's Talk Science of Mind little chat in the library from 9:30 to 10:15. And we talk about what the monthly study guide's about or what the study guide is about for the week. So we invite you all to come. It's your chance to have some interaction with Reverend Jack online and know more about what the talk is going to be about. Sorry, you got to be on mic.
I think the word chat is wrong because we really get deeply into discussion. So it's really a wonderful discussion in there that everyone seems to get involved in and participate. So please come. It's wonderful.
Thank you, Florence. Yeah, we don't call it the chat anymore. I keep calling it the chat. So thank you. Yes, it's a deep discussion, and it's a totally different thing than you get just listening all day. So yes, we invite you to come. So the prayer box, just want to remind you that the prayer box is right over here, and we have a team now that gives you prayer, or if you want them to call you or just want them to do a prayer, whatever you ask for on the little form that's right next to the box, someone from the prayer team will either contact you or do the prayer for you. So we want to have that for you in case you're in need of anything like that. Now, our class starts this Saturday. How many of you signed up for the class? Okay, that's good. That's good. And, oh, I didn't check. Simon, do we have books? Oh, we don't have any books. Okay, so this is the book. If you have taken the class, you probably already have this book, this thing called You. But if you don't, get it, because that's the book we'll be using in the class. It's 7 Saturdays on Zoom, 8:30 in the morning, so it's easy. Just get up or don't get up and be part of the class. So we hope some more will sign up. You can do it right online, cslvisalia.org/classes, and you can sign up there and be part of our great conversation for the next 7 Saturdays. I wanted to put this up because this is something I do whenever it works. The Basic Science of Mind Foundation has this this is a chat discussion. They play old radio things of Ernest Holmes talking, and then you break into little groups this is all on Zoom, and discuss it. And so I've met people from all over the country that are in my little chat group, and that's how I found out about the workshop at Visalia that a couple of us went to last summer. So it's interesting. It's just an hour. It's 11 o'clock our time. It's this Thursday, and all I have to do is Google scienceofmindarchives.com, and you'll get to it. It's wonderful. You know, I have a hard time reading Ernest Holmes. Sometimes he's a little, I don't know, he's too much for me. But when he talks, he's wonderful. I love hearing him talk. So just an interesting thing to do. So, save a service, new year, time to think about what we can do, hopefully, to help our center. And we're looking for hosts, people who really want to be hosts. A lot of people don't like the idea of coming up here at all. Some people are good at it, or some people might get good at it, doing it a few times. So, we're going to have an orientation next Sunday, right after service, before the board meeting, for anybody who wants to be a host. And you'll see whatever Simon's doing today is what the host does, and we'll get a little bit of training and little ideas of what that host should be. So you're all welcome. Even if you don't want to become a host, come and see what it's all about, and then you can say no or yes. And if that isn't your thing for Seva, maybe you can help with some ideas. January, new year. In our budget, we have $10,000 allotted to fundraising. And I don't know if we made it this year or not. Did we? But we've got to start planning events, both fundraising, money wings, and just friend-raising events. So if you're interested at all in helping, we're having a meeting right after service. We're going to talk about the health expo that has been postponed to March, and that's going to happen then. And we'll talk about other ideas too. So stay if you like and see what we're planning and put out your great ideas. Okay, I'll give it back to Simon.
Thank you, Donna. All right, now we will go ahead and read our mission statement together. I'm going to turn around and read it from behind me because I can't see that far. So if everyone would like to read with me. Center for Spiritual Living Visalia is the place everyone comes together, connecting in love and learning how to create abundant, joyful, and peaceful lives. Thank you so much. And now we're going to go ahead and get into our first song, which is God Makes Me Want to Sing.
Can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. I can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. That makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. I am loving every living thing. I can see the face of God in paupers and kings. We're all precious, no one less or more. We've all got the same treasure in store. That's why I'm loving every living thing. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. That makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. I'm believing in my guiding light. No matter what comes, it always turns out right. Just dig down to how I feel. Take a deep breath and grab the wheel. That's why I'm believing in my guiding light. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. He makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. I'm rising to my higher place, with the wind in my back and a smile upon my face. I'm living my dream a little more each day, and it keeps getting easier to find my way. That's why I'm rising to my higher place. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. Makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good, I can do most. Makes me feel so good, I can do most. Makes me feel so good, I can do most anything.
Wow, that was wonderful. Thank you, guys. All right, now I'd like to introduce Bonnie for our diversity quote.
Good morning. I'm Bonnie Carlia, and I'm a part of the diversity and inclusivity team here at the center. And it's my pleasure to present a quote plus a little more this morning. I didn't know this, and maybe you don't either. January 16th is the National Religious Freedom Day. Honoring all paths is our motto here. A National Religious Freedom Day, January 16th, is a time to remember and praise the tenets of liberty, equality, and dignity for everyone. That freedom is guaranteed in the First Amendment of the Constitution, adopted in 1791, which says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Inherent in our celebration of religious freedom is the right to also live with the freedom of speech, of the press, and the freedom of assembly. To restrict these freedoms is to undermine the quality, dignity, and respect of our brothers and sisters. Religious freedom makes it possible and even legal to publicly honor all faiths, to draw wisdom from diverse spiritual paths. In essence, the New Thought philosophy and the teaching of it would not have been allowed without the guarantee of this freedom. Okay, today's quote that I've chosen comes from the Bible, the New International Version. It's chapter 5 of Mark, verse 24. Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now we're going to be moving into our What We Believe principle. If everyone would like to read with me. Oh, thank you. All right. We believe in the control of conditions through the power of this mind. We believe in the control of conditions through the power of our mind. Thank you. All right, now it's time to get into our congregation song. So if everyone could please stand up, and all together we're going to be singing the song, Use Me.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creation, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must I do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. And God needs us to shine its light, needing us to shine its. I'm doing it one more time. Needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. You went with that one, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning indeed. I am so thankful that we have the two Donnas reaching out to us this morning through their vocal calling. So thank you for that. As we come together on this Sunday, I am so ready, so energized for us to take the teachings of this faith, this philosophy, this way of living, and turn it into some powerful demonstration of what is possible. So I hope you're willing to join me on that. And again, I'm hoping that you are willing to be a part of this class called Spiritual Principles and Practices that will be starting next Saturday morning. It is the foundation of all that we do. If you ever had a question about what is this faith, what is this philosophy, what is this thing we call science of mind all about, that's the class that you want to be in. And I also have this inkling, I have this kind of nudge that's coming to me that there's somebody in your life that you want to invite to join you on this journey. And so doing it via Zoom, doing it via the web is going to be the easiest way for you to invite others to be a part of the experience. Know that once you RSVP to the class, once you say yes to being in it, I'll work with Simon to make sure that you get a copy of the workbook, the study guide, so that you'll be right there ready to move along with us. And also know that the book, this thing called You, is one of the books that you want to make available to you in your library to always have. Many centers of spiritual living throughout the country will use that book as a teaching tool every January. It's been a part of the historical tradition to do it, just to kind of remind us what it's all about. And so that's my plug. I can't wait for you to be with us on Saturday. I can't wait to be together with you next Sunday. And so, with that, I just want to invite us all to be ready. So, if you're in a place where it's comfortable for you to close your eyes and to get grounded, just be there and allow the sounds that are around you to be acknowledged and to let go of them. Let them dissipate. Let them not be the focus of your consciousness. And make space. Make space in your mind to remember that there is one power, one God, one divine presence that we call love, that we call empathy, that we call knowing. And if that is the truth about that power, that is the truth about each and every one of us within the sound of my voice, because there is no place where that power is not present. There is no place where that manifestation of the divine is not present. And so today, as we embark upon a new day, a new journey, a new time together, we say thank you for all of the hands that made today's service possible. We say thank you to the musicians that inspired us. We say thank you for everyone who took time out of their day to be a part of the community, to just come together with an idea of seeking to know more. Seeking to know more is a part of clearing the way for it to manifest in our life. So we release any doubts, we release any considerations, we release any thoughts of how it should have been, could have been, might have been, ought to have been, any of that we let go of, and we just choose to be present in this moment, to say yes to the divine, to say yes to being inspired, to saying yes to being guided. And so we turn this service over to the divine, giving thanks for this opportunity to be together. And so it is. One of the things that I remembered as I was preparing for this week's talk was my mentor, Terry Whitaker, who often taught many classes, not unlike the class that we come together every Sunday morning at 9:30 when we get together to talk science of mind. We would go to one of her classes, and there was always a time for a Q&A after the class. And she would respond to the questions that people brought forth. And one of the times that I was there, a woman raised her hand and said, I have a question. I have a question. I have always wanted a primary relationship. I've always wanted a spouse. I have always wanted somebody to love and be a part of my life, but they're just not showing up. And Terry looked at her and she said, I have a question for you. If I were to walk into your house right now and walked into the master bedroom, what would the other side of your bed look like? Well, the woman was kind of taken back and she didn't want to really answer the question. Because no, come on, play this out for me. Tell me, last night when you put your head to the pillow, what was on the other side of your bed? Well, it was the remote. It was the 3 books that I'm reading. It was a pillow. It was my dog. It was like she had this whole list of things that were on the other side of the bed. And Terry looked at her and said, if you want a spouse, you have to clear the space for that spouse to show up. You are sending a message to the universe that there is no room on the other side of your bed. You've got to clear the space in order for what you say you want to have a place to be. And she even went on to say, I want you to go to your dresser. And I want you, if you have 6 drawers in your dresser, I want you to clean out 3 of them in order to make the space available for the spouse that you say that you want. I want you to go to the closet and create half of the room in that closet for someone to be there. You've got to be willing to demonstrate that you have the faith that what you ask for will come to you if you clearly clear the space for it. Now, that's one idea, and that's kind of the early ideas of this thing that we talked about in manifesting. Back in the day when I was, studying with Terry Cole Whitaker, it was also the time when this book called The Secret came out, and they were talking about how we attract to us what it is that we want to manifest in life. And it was okay, but it was a little too popular, a little bit, stepped away from this teaching. So today I kind of want to use that example of clearing the space for what it is that we want to manifest, but to take it up a notch, to rise it up to a notch, to really tapping into the power of the divine. And when I talk about tapping into the power of the divine, I want us to embrace an attitude that we are always connected to that power, but we may not always remember that it's available to us, that we are tapping into it, that we are using it to its fullest advantage. And so our opportunity in this teaching is to get clear, to clear the space for tapping into that divine power of the universe. Power is a magnificent word. We all can conjure up an idea of the magnificence of power, whether we're thinking of the Santa Ana winds, whether we're thinking of the movement of an earthquake. We are all available to tap into an understanding of what power is. And if you think about it, if you had all that power behind you to do the things that you feel that you're called to do in this life, you would have no excuses for not moving ahead and doing the thing. And so we want to look at our spiritual practices to make sure that we're clearing the space so that we can always tap into that power, that we're always accessing it. Now, for many of us, that might look like our morning prayer. Before we open our eyes, we just take a moment to breathe. And when we take in that breath, guess what we're doing? We're tapping into a power that's greater than us. We don't come with our own breath. We don't come with our own air supply. We must tap into the air supply that's provided by the universe. So we're tapping in. We are inhaling and clearing the space for that power to come within us. Then we think about our prayer for the day and asking that power, that universe, tapping into it to say, what is mine to do today? What is mine to be today? What is mine to manifest today? Now, here's where we have to have what I call an intentional focus on being the messenger. When we pray that prayer, Spirit, God, divine, what is mine to be, do, and have today? We can't go in and edit it as our ego might want to. If we get the impress, if we get the thought, if we get the idea of what is ours to do today, then we can't go, I don't, no, that's okay, God. I don't really want to do that today. Let's let somebody else in the room do that today. That lady over there, I think that should be what she does. No, that's not how it works. That's the ego at hand. And that's us forgetting that we are enough to tap into that divine, into that power to know what is ours to do. And it may not always look like what our heart and our ego would want it to look like. We can be so surprised sometimes of who we are called to show up for. You know, maybe we get a phone call and a dear friend is in the hospital and we just decide to put aside everything we plan to do today and to get there, to be them, to remind them that they are loved, to remind them that they are seen by you and are valuable for you, because that may just be what they need to see and to witness in order for them to tap into the power of themselves in order to manifest a healing for whatever condition might be showing up. But if they think that no one's going to come to them, if no one's going to show up for them, maybe I'll just let go. And so Spirit is working through you to go do the thing, to be the example, to reach out to that person. Maybe it's walking in if you're taking a class or going to the public library and you're going to spend some time there, or even a coffee shop. I've had people mention this happens at a coffee shop. They'll walk in and they think that they're just there to check their email on their laptop, but yet Spirit gives them a nudge. Spirit gives them a nudge to go sit at a common table with someone else. And your ego jumps up and says, I don't want to do that. I just want to go read my email. I just want to go look at TikTok on the phone before it gets deleted. I just want to go do this other thing. Oh God, don't ask me to go sit with that stranger right now. I don't want to do that. But then you remember who and whose you are, and you go sit at that common table. And maybe you don't say anything at all. Maybe all you do is just smile and nod at that other person, that stranger. And that is all that stranger needed in that moment, was to realize that somebody saw them, somebody acknowledged them, someone was willing to sit at the table with them. They smile back. You feel energized. You feel that you have been obedient in tapping into the power. So this idea of clearing the space for it to come through, if you're looking at our study guide that's online for, each month, there's a study guide that's posted there that you can use as a part of your daily practice. It really touches on our weekly theme, our monthly theme, whatever the title is for my talk type of thing, but it has some discussion questions. It also has some suggested reading. You can take that, and what I encourage you to do is put it in your own words. Well, what do you do when you do that? You're clearing the space for it. You're clearing the space for your understanding of it. I had a dear friend who was asked by his spiritual leader to teach a class on A Course in Miracles. And if you're at all familiar with the work known as A Course in Miracles, you know that it can be a pretty heavy read. And so he decided that he wanted to say yes to teaching it because it made him uncomfortable. And it caused him to have to really study harder than he's ever studied before to be able to turn around and to teach the thing. And so there's this opportunity for him to clear the space to allow it to happen. So what he did each morning is he opened the textbook called A Course in Miracles, the text, and he started to hand write each paragraph that he read. He went word by word, sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph, page by page, writing the text in his own handwriting. That was his daily practice. Soon, he completed the entire book. Soon, he had a notebook full of this textbook of A Course in Miracles in his own hand. That allowed him to be the most dynamic teacher of that course called A Course in Miracles, because he cleared the space for it to come through. The it was the power, the understanding, the message. All that was supposed to be was able to work through him in order to show up on the page, in order for it to show up for him to turn around to make it happen. That's what we're called to do. I know that you know that we are moving into an era on our planet, in our nation, in our state, even in our city, where it can look like chaos out there. And others are looking to us to be the demonstration that even though all that is happening out there, we still show up as the example of the light, of the joy, of the peace that is possible. Now we can do it if we clear the space to be the conduit. Now, what do I mean by conduit? Okay, I want you to think about that power pole that is out in front of your house, and the municipality has brought the electricity to that pole. That pole sends a wire to your house to a little pipe, and that pipe comes down to your electrical outlet box. That's called a conduit. You are that same conduit for the power that is the universe, the power of the possibility, the power of the healing, the power of the demonstration. And you want to tap into that power. Now, that electrical power is there or not, whether you turn on the radio. It's waiting for you to tap into that power, to tap into that frequency. All you have to do is clear the space for it. In today's reading, the word it really is big. It really is demonstrated. Well, the it that they're talking about is the power of connectivity. And I know that you know that it exists. You've seen examples of it in your life. And if you're forgetting, what does that it look like? It is the experience that you have whenever you are spiritually fed. If you have an embrace with someone in the community and it just feels good, and you walk away a little taller, a little more loving, with a little bit more smile on your face, you've tapped into the power. You've tapped into the power when you encounter a dear acquaintance at the grocery store and you're glad to see one another. It's there. You're tapping into it. It's what brings you joy. Power is what brings you joy. That connectivity is what brings you joy and allows you to know peace. And so today, as you prepare for the week ahead, I want you to actively engage and choose to clear the space for the power to move through you, to know that you can tap into it, to be ready. The big word of the week is to be ready. I'm calling you into action to be ready for the unexpected, to be ready for what we do not know is coming, but may show up anyway. And I want you to clear the space that you can tap into the power of the divine, the power of the universe, to see what might look like a setback as a set up for something better, something more, something that you can be in gratitude for. And if you get stuck, you do it anyway. You know, I am preparing a class for this fall that is going to be a master class in teaching people on how to write their autobiography, how to tell their story of their life. And I'm kind of pre-selecting some of the textbooks to go with that class. And there is a wonderful book out there that's called The War of Art. The War of Art. And the author, Stephen Peterson, writes, if you want to be a writer, you must clear the space for the message to come through you. And what does he mean by that? His demonstration of that is he made the commitment that he's going to write a book. And whatever the book is that he's going to write, he dedicates and clears his calendar so that from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., he writes each and every day. Now, you can know if we make that commitment, we've all made that commitment to say, well, I'm going to do this every day at a certain time, and then life happens. Well, he has mastered declaring the space so that nothing gets in the way of his sacred commitment to that writing time. And what he does is he goes and he sits down at his desk precisely at 8 a.m. He puts his fingers on the keyboard, he takes a breath and says a prayer. I am a vessel for the power of the word to move through me. Now, here's what happens. As you can only imagine, he may be sailing along for 3 or 4 days in a row and type. But then on that 5th day, the ego's saying, I won't be here. I won't sleep in today. And he perseveres. He steps up and he goes to that desk anyway. And he sits down. And he sits down at that desk and he puts his fingers on the keyboard. And nothing comes through. Nothing comes through. Now, many of us at that point would give it 5 minutes, give it 10 minutes, give it maybe even 15 minutes. And then we'd get up and go, I have writer's block today. It happens to all the writers. I can't do the thing. And we go about our day, and soon we find we're walking away from the thing that we say that we're called to do and don't return to it. Here's the difference. He called the book The War of Art because there is a commitment that you must endure the pain of the thing in order to experience the peace of the thing. He sits there anyway. He does not get up from the blank page. And sometimes he sits there for 20 minutes, but all he does during that 20 minutes is repeat the prayer. I am an open vessel for the word to come through me. I am an open vessel. And soon, once he is clear, once the chatter, the ego has been quieted, the words start to come. And oftentimes what he'll say is that what comes through him absolutely changes the trajectory of the story that he had in mind. but it comes through with such clarity that it's like, oh, this is good. He can't wait to hear what one character is going to say to another character. And as he's typing away, he has become that conduit. He has become that vessel that has tapped into the power. It's a demonstration to each and every one of us that it is possible for all of us to clear the space for it to come through us, to clear the space. If we say we want a space for a spouse in our life, we got to make the space for a spouse in our life. If we say that we want to spend more time with friends, we got to clear the space on our calendar and proclaim some part of our calendar as time for friends. We have the mastery of this energetic power that comes through us from the divine, that we are always connected with us if we will merely clear the space for it. So that is my message for you today. I hope in this week ahead, you actively engage in clearing the space for the divine to work through you. And so with that, I'm going to turn it back over to the Donnas for our next song to bring us together. And I'll see you on the other side.
Hello. My name's Chase, not Donna, but I'm going to play a piano solo for you today. I chose the African American spiritual Deep River. It is a song about finding peace in the promised land in the midst of slavery. And it's obviously a very, very pretty song. I think right now, we're all trying to find peace. There's so much going on in the world, here in the United States, abroad, in California. Right now, obviously, a lot of my mind and my heart is with Los Angeles. I went to college down there and have a lot of friends that are dealing with the fires. So, just hope personally at the moment that all of the people in Los Angeles find peace and what they need to, do to just make it through this difficult time for them. But here is my version of Deep River.
Thank you, Chase. That was beautiful. And after the wonderful music and the beautiful message from Rev Jack, it's time to move into our conscious giving. So if I could please ask my wonderful, beautiful ushers to come forward. Thank you so much. Thank you. And so together we will read our conscious giving statement. Today, I expect every good thing to come to me, for I know that divine abundance is forever manifesting itself in my affairs. I am keeping my whole mind and thought and expectation open to new experiences, to happier events, to a more complete self expression. Everything that belongs to spirit, I accept. Everything that partakes of the nature of divine reality, I claim as my own. I identify with success and I prosper in everything I do. As I give thanks for the good now flowing into my life, I gladly share that good with others. The more I give, the more I receive. I experience a deeper consciousness of peace and security, for I know that I am in the embrace of a warm, loving presence. My cup runneth over. I exist in limitless possibility. Thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you. Now, together we will pray over these donations. Thank you so much. We can all close our hands or close our eyes and reach our hands out and say, we bless these gifts and give thanks for all the good they will manifest. And so it is. Thank you.
All right, beloveds. One last reminder. It's time to clear the space to allow the divine to work through you. I hope there were some words that inspired you today. I hope there was some nugget of information that came to you either through the music or through the spoken word of somebody else that's near you, that there's something that you will use as your access to that power today to remind that you are connected. The other ask that I have is that the work that we're doing here together is not the best kept secret in the world. That you share that you have been spiritually fed today in whatever way that is with someone else by either sharing the link to today's talk with a friend that might be any place in the world or inviting them to come with you next Sunday when we do this all together again. This is your nudge to let someone else know where you're being spiritually fed and the difference that it's making in your life. And so as we come together right now, we know that we are all one with the power. We are all one with the divine. We are all one with the love that is universal and easily available and accessible to each and every one of us. And so we give thanks as we prepare to go about our day, as we prepare to go about the week ahead. We say thank you. Thank you for whatever has come to us. We say thank you for reminding us to be ready to receive the message, to be ready to speak, to be ready to do whatever spirit or the divine has in mind for us this week. We simply say yes to showing up and getting ready. We give thanks for the musicians. We give thanks for the technical crew. We give thanks for our host. We give thanks for our leadership council and our board. We give thanks to our practitioners. We give thanks for everyone who has taken the time to be together today we say thank you, thank you. And as we conclude, we are reminded that peace is an inside job. And if we want peace in the world, if that is our calling, if that is what we are here to remind others, we know that peace begins with me. And so join us together as we conclude today's gathering with the peace song. Blessings, everyone.
I'll go join him. How's that? Now there is peace on earth. I know it begins with me. Now there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now when